And we are live. Hi, everybody. This is Connections Unplugged. I'm Krisa Skodra. Welcome to this week's episode. Connections Unplugged from LinkedIn to Life is my personal podcast series where the idea is very simple. I want to bring to you every week one of my LinkedIn connections into 30 minutes of an unscripted, unplugged discussion. I want to, first of all, get to know my LinkedIn connections at a better, deeper level as people and as professionals. And then you get a chance to eavesdrop into our conversation and get to know these amazing professionals and people as well. Let's grow our LinkedIn community and network together, and maybe we form some synergies. Why not? LinkedIn is my favorite platform, I must confess, and I would like also to thank OneStream Live for powering this show, for supporting me in multi-streaming LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on YouTube. This is the beauty of OneStream Live, Finnish company from Espoo. Check it out, onestream.live. It enables you, content creators, brands, companies, to multi-stream your voice, your webinars, your trainings, your podcasts throughout your social media as well as your website. Check out more onestreamlive.com. Ask me if you have any questions. I've been happy to use this amazing product now for quite a while, and I'm very happy with it. Today, my special guest is waiting there in the backstage. Here she is. Karolina Wrona is with me. Karolina is a safety expert, safety culture specialist. She does her own training. She's an entrepreneur. She has a long history in safety culture, safety and quality management, consulting. She worked in some of the most top level companies here in Finland. She will tell us all about it today. Karolina, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Chris, for asking. Nice to see you. Hope you are good.
Thank you. Nice seeing you. We just met in person yesterday because we both live in the same part of Espoo. We practice taekwondo together and we know on a personal level, but we are LinkedIn connections as well. And I've been happy to see your career progression here in Finland. You are not a native Finn. You are from Poland originally, but you are multilingual, speaking fluent Finnish and many other languages. Multilingualist. So tell us a little bit before we deep down into who you are as a person. What has your childhood been like growing up in Poland? What are the memories, the first memories you have from your childhood? And has your childhood shaped you to some extent?
Yes. Well, I just to cut it short, I believe I have very happy childhood, and I think childhood always shapes us. And I grew up in Poland in the 80s, so there were queues and it was a bit grayish, but basically we have everything. I'm actually very happy that we didn't have like too much, and you had to work a bit on you had get like oranges or chocolate, not like everyday basis, but. You know how it is. It was kind of, and it was very equal. I would say people were pretty equal. I had very happy childhood, but maybe one thing I want to point out now. You ask how it shaped me. I went to school a bit younger, and I was like, I always have this really passion for learning, including languages, but basically everything. So I went to school when I was 6 years old. So I think that was something that has affected me, and
in a positive way.
In a positive way, yeah. I always wanted to learn more. That was one driving force. And
I went to school also at that age. Of course, it has a little bit the disadvantages. Of course, if you're a very smart child and curious and want to learn, and you already know how to write and read, and you want to get more challenges. But of course, maybe your body, at least in my case, you're a tall woman, I know you, but I was always the shortest, the smallest, even though I was the brightest. but I was easily a target, let's say this way. If they wanted to find something about you, kids, they make sure to find something to pick on you, and perhaps
yes. Yeah, I didn't have it. I was, I think, like top maybe 5 or so. I was, yeah, definitely that nobody could have told that I was 1 year younger than everyone else. Yeah, and I was, I think, quite mature then. Maybe there was something like when you mentioned that I have this skin condition, atopic skin condition, and it was not so well known maybe then. So, but I was not bullied at school. No, not at all. It was very amazing.
But you love languages. I know you speak a little bit of Greek, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, fluent Finnish. How many languages do you speak, and how important language learning has been also in the work that you do as consulting in consulting? Because we see the company below. This is Karolina's company, Dobra.fi. Tell us a little bit about perhaps the services you're offering and how languages have helped you offer the services you're offering.
Yes, they have, yeah, yes. Well, speaking there, as you know, there are different levels. So like C1, C2 levels, I don't really believe you can speak too many of them if you don't practice them. So the languages that I would say I have full proficiency in would be, of course, Polish, my mother tongue, and English and Finnish. When I have to, I can give courses in also in Russian, but I prefer to use an interpreter. I can clearly check, and I know how they're interpreting. But I would say those two. I used to study and live in Portugal and Brazil, worked in Brazil. So my Portuguese was very good at that time as well. Then there is, of course, Spanish, some Italian, French. I lived in Luxembourg working for the European Commission. So French then. And, I have this kind of a passive knowledge of those languages, but I would not really tell that I can speak them. I understand them, and I can use them as supporting languages during my safety training or consulting, for example.
Tell us a little bit about the work that you do through your company. I just browsed through the website. The viewers had a chance to see, and here is again the site. You see it below. Notify. What services do you offer? What kind of trainings you offer? And when should people reach out to you to receive your services?
Yes. So there are like 2 branches. It's both safety consulting, including safety training, and business consulting. So I started my company over 15 years ago, and it was like part-time project. When the Fennovoima nuclear power plant project ended in 2022, I decided to fully focus on my company. So then, since then, I've been offering business consulting. So basically, it's all connected. So the target group are foreign companies and foreigners who are coming here to run their projects in Finland. So I have Polish companies, but also Lithuanian, Estonian, Portuguese, German, from basically all over Europe, Irish nowadays also.
Yeah, but just to clarify for people, so Fennovoima is a big company. I was referring to that in the beginning. So you worked there for about 5-6 years, right?
Yes. So my background was there. So for over 15 years, I used to work as nuclear safety culture specialist on 2 nuclear power plant projects. 10 years in Olkiluoto 3. Nuclear power plant projects, the Teollisuuden Voima, and then 5 years for Fennovoima.
Yes. So this is for the listeners. I wanted to clarify this because not maybe everybody is familiar. What is Fennovoima? What is Olkiluoto? And so on. So Karolina's background lies deeply in the nuclear energy plants, and she has many years of experience in this field, and she brings now the knowledge to train internationals who want to work in Finland. And tell us a little bit, Karolina, what needs Finland has at the moment regarding having qualified personnel. Are they seeking for personnel from abroad? Because many people maybe approach you as well thinking, will I have a job? Is it possible? If I receive this training, does it guarantee me that I get a job? Or is it people that they have already a job offer on the table and then they take the qualification? Tell us a little bit how this works for everybody listening and they're not really understanding, because maybe people think that, I come to Finland, there is a need. Is there a need? If so, what's the right process to do things?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to tell you whether there is what kind of need we have for the foreign workforce. But what I have been focusing on is they are mostly posted workers to Finland. So I'm talking about companies who are only posting workers. So the workers come here for a certain period of time. There is a word you asked. When they come and they need to work at the construction site, let's say, or in industry, they usually are asked to have this Finnish occupational safety card, työturvallisuuskortti, koulutus, and it's not a guarantee of getting a job, and it's also not actually a legal requirement, but it's required by, I would say, 99% of the Finnish clients. So this is my target, those foreign companies. But of course, every now and then I get questions about people who would like to relocate to Finland. So I am not offering such relocation services. I know there are companies who do it. So that is the difference. So those people who want to relocate to Finland are not my target areas. Of course, I try to help them if I can. Sometimes they come here as posted workers first, and they like Finland.
Yeah.
And then they reach out.
Exactly. That's what I thought, that initially that's perhaps for some people, maybe they get inspired to stay here longer or relocate and so on. Karolina, what is on now you're doing this, you've been doing it for many years already, but after your job ended at Fennovoima, you focused more on your company, which has been very successful. Is it something that you want to take to the next level? Are you happy how things are at the moment, or what is your next goal as an entrepreneur? I know you've been very busy, but what do you see in the future? How do you want your career to unfold, your business? Do you have any future aspirations?
Yes, exactly. I want to take this angle of having this right life-work balance, and work is one part. We also have families, children, and things. My husband's work requires traveling abroad, so it's work is one part. I love my work, but I would like to what I have to say, I would like to have more life-work balance, and the idea is not to grow, rather to work, smarter than more. I have to say that, I'm maybe better off financially with my own company, but I also have been working much, much more. So that's one thing you have to be ready for. And I think I should have already employed somebody, or if you not to always tell you that I'm busy, sorry, but I don't want to grow. I would like to just do things in a smarter way. Maybe at some point to connect with somebody, with another company offering similar services, to offer like full range of services, and to share the work.
It's important, as you say. We live in Finland, and everybody seems to, or some people at least, the lucky ones, seem to have managed to find the balance between work and life and so on. Some others we're trying a little bit harder to balance. Maybe others need more work, or other more free time and family time, and focus on their health and physical and so on. What do you do personally to about Karolina, about your body, about your mental sanity? You're a mother, you're a professional, but as a person, is there something that gives you pleasure, that makes you happy, makes you confident? How do you focus on yourself?
Yes, of course. It's a key thing. Even when you're just business-wise, my company's like most important resource. So I need to take care of myself. For not to mention my kids, of course, who are number one. But thank you, Krista, very much for introducing me to taekwondo, or actually started with my son, and I love it. I have to tell you that I have one thing. When I came to Finland, like for the first time, one culture shock I had was like everyone had a hobby. one or two.
Right.
2000.
That was a revelation for me too, because in Greece you don't have hobbies. You just work, and then you die.
Exactly.
That's
it was late 90s and 2000. I just was visiting Finland for the first time, but everyone was working or maybe doing something in the garden. But here people had hobby. Didn't matter what kind of education you had a hobby. And so now I can say I have been going to the gym. I have a personal trainer once a week, but taekwondo is something that really makes me happy. I'm actually waiting. It's today, and I'm already excited about it.
Excellent.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We are practicing at Espoo Taekwondo Academy at the Saunalahti School. This is where our academy is having our training. So for me also, I started as an adult, exactly as you said, as a foreign woman in Finland, from a culture that is very cutthroat, competitive, workaholic. You come to Finland and people have hobbies and are like, okay, I'd like to have a hobby, but I don't know what to do. I'm 30 already and my body is aching, am I too old? And I started with Taekwondo 3-4 years ago because my son didn't want to let go of me. So I wanted something to be together with my son. And in Taekwondo, everybody starts from the white belt. So the first groups, the beginners groups, it could be also parents, grandparents, children. We are all white belts. Of course, eventually the adults progress on a faster pace compared to the children. And maybe you find sort of adult group in the higher or middle belts. So I'm happy, Karolina, that you took up the challenge. So Karolina, you have also won some medals recently in a breaking festival. Tell us a little bit about your accomplishments there when you broke some wooden boards.
Oh, indeed, yeah, I was lucky, a bit lucky, to win a silver medal. There is still some markings on my but you have to stand some pain. But it's all about the technique, but also mental power. So I'm happy. I will try to take part next time if it's given. So it was a great opportunity, and my kids were also there. My son won also a medal. And just about taekwondo, it's one of the best hobbies you can do with your children. So if you're looking for something to spend more time with your children and at the same time getting some activity, that's a thing I can truly recommend.
Yes, because it's also it's something you do together, but then it's also individual. You do it in pairs, you do it as a group. So it has so many elements. It's about discipline, it's about flexibility, balance, the list goes on. Great. Karolina, how about yourself now? If we look at the future ahead, you said that you want to find a better balance for yourself and of course, you need to earn a living, right? Are you happy here in Finland? Of course, you have your home here, your husband, your kids are here, and so on. Is it Finland then for the rest of your life for you, or do you have later on in the future? I mean, not just in the next 5 years. You still have kids in school age, but have you ever thought about leaving Finland, going back to Poland and retiring there? Or maybe you could do much more with your pension money in Poland. And Poland is, what I hear, a safe country and so on. So what do you think? Do you have any other such goals in mind? Or are you happy to be here in what's branded the happiest country?
We are in the happiest country in the world 8th time in a row. So there is something to it, and it's definitely not because of the weather. So weather-wise, I could consider relocating, but now when I think about my long prospects, then definitely long-term prospects, I think definitely Finland, at least for a while. But I could relocate for a while to some warmer country. I'm just trying to tell my husband to get a nice job in, I don't know, Singapore or some other interesting country. Also just to give to my kids this international experience. But definitely I'm not planning to relocate to Poland. I've been thinking about it. I'm very well integrated up to a point. I'm even partially assimilated. Even our language we speak at home, it's Finnish. I maybe should have speak a bit more Polish to my kids. But yeah, I like it here. It's just that you need to have some decent holiday abroad to get some more sun and warmth like Greece, for example. But yeah, my plans are related to Poland, staying with Finland and getting more balance. And I like it here really.
Great.
But it doesn't mean that there would not be things to improve.
Pardon?
It doesn't mean that there would not be things to improve. So I was thinking of at some point contributing to the Finnish society with what I have learned here and what I have.
You've given two children to the Finnish society. That's about it, and all your life of experience. So I think you've done your fair share.
And I'm paying taxes here, yeah.
And exactly. So I think we have done our fair. Our kids go to the army even for this country. So
yeah.
I have a question here from my previous guest. My previous guest wants to know from you. And as part of this show in Connections Unplugged, my previous guests get a chance to ask my next guest a question, so to create this kind of red thread amongst the guests. And then I want you to ask a question to my next guest. So the previous guests have asked you, what work or what life would you have if you had no restrictions at all, no financial restrictions? Let's say money was not an issue, right? How do you see yourself if you would have no restrictions, financial restrictions, or other mental blocks or whatnot? What kind of work or what kind of life you would lead?
Yes, I can answer actually straight away because I was trying to listen to this question, but I didn't find it. But this is something, actually, Carissa, I've been thinking a lot, and discussing with my friends. So it's very simple. Basically, it would be pretty similar. I mean, I would definitely work. Also, I love training. I love learning, and I love kind of training, teaching, both ways. So it would be not even traveling like before. I was thinking I would be traveling it just a bit, but I would be, learning things and teaching people, consulting people. I would be doing the same things. Maybe just the courses would be not like every week, but more depending on the weather. If the weather is nice, I want to be outside. I love also be on the move. I'm happy when I'm moving. So just a bit less of work, but otherwise, not big changes. More learning. I would be, I'm an eternal learner.
Yeah, and you do Duolingo in your phone.
I learn my things. I've studied things from business accounting to nuclear power, political science, languages. They have it all has helped me. Actually, I have used it all in my let's say career. Yeah,
and I agree with you. I'm this kind of person myself. I love learning. I'm very curious. I get fixated. I could read on a topic, as you said, whether astronomy, right? Astrophysics. I can go to the bottom of things, or medical. I'm interested in medical topics. So I would know so much about a topic that piques my interest. Sometimes even doctors don't believe how much I have this knowledge. I haven't been to medical school, but if you want to find information and you're a curious, inquisitive person, you are able to understand what's a good source of information, what's not a reliable, and then find your knowledge there. Karolina, what would you like now to ask to my next guest? Is there one question when you meet a person for the first time, or a colleague or an employee or a friend, and you just met, is there one question that opens up your understanding of their psyche, their personality better? Like, do you have such a go-to question when you want to know a person?
I rather let it go slowly. No, I of course we all categorize, label people, but I don't really ask such questions like immediately. No, I just let it unfold. But one thing that really interests me, or one or two questions, is like, I would say, like, you touched upon the childhood, but like when have you kind of notice your comparative advantage, that you have something that you should maybe pursue? Like for me, I knew that I'm learning really fast, and I'm not so good actually with my, let's say, moving, with my how I control my control my body, but I learn things. I can read and I remember. So I was thinking that's something I should kind of pursue, and that would be the thing. And you could continue, like whether it's visible in their business or in whatever they are doing, like have they made use of their comparative advantage. So that could be
great. Awesome. What is, Karolina, your competitive view? Is it the curiosity you said and your passion for learning?
The curiosity, passion for learning, and also, learning things easily. I have to say that I learn things easily. So,
highly intelligent woman, fast learner, Karolina Wrona was with me at Connections Unplugged. So thank you, Karolina, for coming to this show I'm hosting on LinkedIn. Hope you enjoyed it. It was time well spent.
Thank you very much. It was really, and congratulations on the idea. I really love it, and I'm going to show you all the other episodes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I think, and this is voluntary for me, I'm not getting paid to do this. This is my passion. I just have OneStream Live supporting me with the enterprise license, and they're kindly powering the show. And this is my own initiative. I want to share the knowledge, share the great people with my good intentions. I'm curious to find about my friends, my connections, and hopefully we create some good synergies out there and get inspired by others and their stories and their backgrounds.
Clearly do have this entrepreneurial spirit, and I hope you will make good use of it. Also, good luck with your run to the council, ESPO council. So you got my vote. I also keep my thumbs up that everything goes fine.
Thank you, Karolina. Karolina, fearless foreign woman, totally integrated here in the Finnish society. Great representative of the international community, and a woman that Finland should be proud of having, because I must say Finland has attracted some top-level international talents that really contribute to the Finnish brand image and economy. So we should be, and as our children are bicultural, I think we bring a lot of value with our bicultural, multilingual children that we're raising in this society. So our job is done, Karolina, for Finland.
It's never done, but thank you very much. And let's still keep on thinking how we can improve it even more.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Karolina Wrona was with me, busy lady. I let her go now. Find more at dobra.fi. Reach out to Karolina. This was another episode of Connections Unplugged, from LinkedIn to Life. I'm your girl, Krista Skodra. Thank you for tuning in and listening on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. I'll see you next Wednesday, 11 o'clock Finnish time. Kisses. Bye. Thank you.